Have you ever been told that you were loved but not liked? I have. I was 15, a teen, still in school, still trying to figure out who the hell I am, confused, insecure. I've had a weight issue my whole life, which was exasperated and made worse by I want to call them horse tranquilizers because that's basically what they were. They were these massive pink tablets that I had to take six off, 3 or 2 times a day. I can't even remember, because I was prone to pretty much so deathly asthma attacks. And after one particular asthma attack when I was about 12, I got issued these tablets that I think bodybuilders use. They were massive. Um, and prior to that, I was a normal sized child. Am I blaming it fully on that? No, not of course not. I grew up in a Caribbean household with Windrush grandparents, and I loved my Caribbean food. I love my Jamaican food. Why wouldn't I? It's authentic. It's coming from somebody from that's born in the 20s who cooked probably mostly outside, and knew how to use herbs and seasonings and ingredients that just made, my grandmother's hands could turn nothing into something. And the way that something tasted, you're not saying no. No to what? You'd be crazy to say no. I love food. Um, but at that time, it obviously had an effect on me. So I'm walking around with the insecurity of walking around other Windrush generation and first generation, well, Windrush generation people in their older age, maybe in their 50s and 60s, and then the children of those people who are now born in England who do not hold back on what they feel, what they think, what they see. I also had really bad eczema growing up, and it caused these panda eyes. I had it all over my body, but particularly there was, across. I had like a dark shadow mustache and panda eyes. Um, and anyone that's listening to this, if you're wondering how I got rid of it, I don't even know myself, to be honest with you. I think honestly, just the grace of God. But anyway, moving on. You're walking around with all these things about you that people can't just accept and look at you with any form of empathy whatsoever. You're having to go to school, and I'm bullied about every single thing that I have no control over. I'm talking weather. Apparently my size was the reason behind why these things are happening. Um, and then to go home. Now, my grandparents, that was my safe haven, but home wasn't. Home wasn't. And on one particular day, now, not saying that I am not in any way responsible for the reaction of someone. I'm a teen. I have teens myself, and they can be interesting. My kids are wonderful in my eyes, in my heart, in my soul. I think they're the best things to ever grace the earth. And why shouldn't I? I'm their mother. But they can be a handful at times, but you have to give teens grace. I wasn't given grace. And if I was given grace, whew, then Lord have mercy, because I was told point blank period, I'm your mother. So I basically have to love you, but I don't like you. And that's just the way it was said. And then there was the silence afterwards and the stare. and then the walk off. And I'm left to process that, to sit with that, to try and understand that. I'm not liked at school because of something I can't control. I'm not liked on the street because of something I can't control. And now I'm not liked at home because of, again, something I can't control. There was no specifics as to what wasn't liked about me. I don't like the way you speak to me. I don't like the way you look at me. I don't like the way you do this particular thing. I don't like the way your maybe your attitude in this moment. No, I just don't like you. Your entire existence is not liked, but I tolerate you because I birthed you. That was the message I got. Now, this isn't a diatribe on my parent because we've already had this discussion. It took over 30 years, actually, yeah, over 30 years, because it happened at 15, to finally have the conversation. And I remember it so well at the time, and also what led up to it, that I stand by my attitude at the time, because how I was treated just a couple of months and then little things in between, it kept me in this place of not feeling easy at home. I didn't feel particularly emotionally and mentally safe. But I was also coming into my own. So at this point, I'm not just going to smile through it. I'm not going to wipe it under the carpet anymore. I am going to let you know, probably not even calculatingly, but just in the way I feel, I'm letting you know through my actions without it being planned. This is just how I feel about the position I find myself in. I was listening to this, well, I was watching this video. It's going around social media right now, and it's a young black girl who is, I think she sat at her dining room table eating some chicken wings, and in the background, you can hear there's quite loud music over it, so I couldn't hear everything. But the gist of it was that her mum was on the phone speaking to another family member and denigrating her the entire conversation. It was, she's this, she's that, ha ha ha, who does she think she is, whatever. And it was about God knows what, nothing particularly serious. But the whole point of the video was the young girl was having to sit and listen to, instead of her mum speak to her and relate to her and have empathy and give grace, she chose the path of most resistance, but probably in her mind, the path of least, is to get on the phone and make a complete ass out of her daughter, but also do it in loud enough and in the daughter's presence that she now has to absorb every single thing that this mother is saying about her, making her feel worse second by second. And that was the moment that I heard something and it triggered the shit out of me, because she got up from her seat in such a like a rustle, and she was putting the chair in forcefully, and she didn't know what to do with herself, and she said, I don't want to be here. And anyone who's listening to that might think she just doesn't want to be in the house in that moment, and maybe that is what she meant. But I remember growing up and thinking and saying out loud over and over again, I wish I was dead. I wish I was dead. I wish I was gone, because I couldn't handle it anymore. I went through that shit. It was freaking horrible. And those same people that she would speak to about me, I had to see them. And you could see that just by their body language and some of the words that they would say, they were also tolerating me. And that went on for years, even after. because their impression of me is now embedded in their mind. But you know what? This isn't even the reason why I made the video. I mean, it is, but that's just the background. The issue, the thing I've had to unlearn, and if you've gone through this, you probably need to unlearn it too and do exactly what I have done, which is to relearn a new way of loving yourself and liking yourself all at the same time. And it's taken me a long time. But the thing that I am really making this video for is just to connect with you on the fact that when your foundation has told you point blank, period, or through their actions or speech with other people that they do not like you, I'm here to tell you this. They don't like themselves. It is them that they have an issue with. And it doesn't matter how much you love them. It doesn't matter how much grace you show them. It doesn't matter how much empathy, patience, kindness you show. How they feel about themselves is not in your control. And it's not going to change just because you've been nice to them, because the thing that they're looking for, they either cannot get it from that particular person because that particular person doesn't have the ability to give them what they're looking for. That particular person isn't here in existence anymore to give them what they're looking for. So they'll never get the clarity and the love that they're seeking. Or it is just so embedded in their mind from their own past experience and how they now see themselves. Your light, your beauty, your grace, the life you have in front of you will always trigger them. Because when they look at you and when they see you, mistakes, beauty, warts, and everything else, they see everything that they believe they've lost, not realizing that every day that God wakes them up, they have something more. Another day that they can try to be the very thing that they feel they've lost or that they've missed out on. And that you can actually be more of an inspiration to them than a trigger. But you do trigger them. And this is not something for you to take on board. This is not your fault. You did not ask for this. Yeah? You didn't ask for this. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but anybody who has gone through something like that, or that young lady, if she sees this video, even if this video only goes out to her, I just want to say, you are beauty personified. You are grace personified. I don't want to cry on camera. I ain't doing that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you are everything that they wish they could be. You are meant to be here. You have a purpose. You do not need the validation of others to be the very thing that God has called you to be. You are liked in here or in there for you, okay? You do not need anybody to tell you who you are. You keep telling yourself every single day. Now, I'm going to do a part 2 for this because I want to talk about how that message and conditioning actually affects you growing up, and then how that can be carried through. Because remember, I was 15 and it's taken me until 40 to fully like me. So we're going to talk about that next time. For now, if you relate to this, drop a comment below. You don't have to go into detail unless you want to. I'm here for it. But yeah, just share a little bit about your story if you want to. There's also the community that you could go to as well. I've left that open for posts. Subscribe, share, and more importantly, send this to one woman, just one. You can send it to to 10 if you like, but one is absolutely fine. If you could do that for me, I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one.